Hello, folks. It is Miss Von Burton here with the sterling, unshakable Mr. Donald Brooks. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You know what? This is going to be your episode because the subject we're going to talk about, I know nothing about. If you remember, I said I was boycotting the Super Bowl. I did. Miss Von Burton, may I give you some water?
Thank you.
Allow me to open it for you.
Oh.
We don't want you to mess up your beautiful nails.
Thank you.
There you are. And one last thing, then I'm going to turn it over to you. So you are kind of like me. You're a fan of Mickey Mouse, right? You're a big fan of Mickey Mouse?
Sure, yeah.
Because I was wondering why your hair looks beautiful, but why the Mickey Mouse ears? I was just wondering. Just wondering. This looks nice now. I'm not complaining. I'm just, inquiring minds want to know why the Mickey Mouse ears.
Well, I don't know if you would call it Mickey Mouse ears. I think today we would call it Bantu knots. Some might even call it space buns. But more importantly, we don't do these things for the male gaze.
Oh, go ahead. She had to get that in. Well, let me ask you this. I can do an impersonation of Mickey Mouse. Hello, boys and girls. My name is Mickey Mouse. Can you do it? Can you do a Mickey Mouse?
No, not like that.
Okay, I'm through. Okay, please.
All right, now that you got that out of your system. So, as Mr. Brooks hinted earlier, this episode is about none other than Kendrick Lamar. Mr. Brooks, what do you know about Kendrick Lamar?
Well, the only thing I know about, with everything I know about Kendrick Lamar, I've heard is after the Super Bowl. I never heard of the man before the Super Bowl. I understand he's a rapper, and he turned the Super Bowl halftime show on its ear. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good summary. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is a very esteemed and very accomplished rapper. And I'm just going to give Mr. Brooks some facts about him.
Thank you.
Some fast facts. So Kendrick Lamar, was born in California, and he started rapping at the age of 13. And over time, he, developed his craft to what it is today. Some things that I noted is that he has won over 20 Grammys.
Wow.
He's actually the first rapper to win a Pulitzer Prize. And
wait a minute, he won a Pulitzer Prize?
A Pulitzer Prize.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Which has never been done by a rapper, because it's more of a classical, kind of category. But Kendrick Lamar broke those barriers. He has made some really notable albums, like To Pimp a Butterfly. One of them, which it's a bad word to Mr. Brooks, it's called Damn. That one won him several awards as well. So fast forward to the Super Bowl, that was probably one of the most prolific and most viewed Super Bowl halftime shows of all time. Mr. Brooks doesn't know this because he took a stand and boycotted the Super Bowl and did not watch. So, pat on the back for Mr. Brooks for taking that stand. For those of you who didn't and watched the halftime show, then you know how electric it was. Those of you who are also big Kendrick fans like myself are aware of the the famous beef that he's having with other rappers.
That's what I want to ask you about. I know nothing about any of these rappers. I understand that there's a rapper that he's tell me a little bit about that.
So it's a Canadian rapper named Drake.
From Canada?
From Canada.
Oh, man, okay.
He's been around for a very long time too, also very successful. I don't necessarily know the beginnings of how it started. I'm sure a lot of you do, but not necessarily me. But they got into a very heated and outstretched, like, kind of like rap beef. So
Well, it's got to be over one or two things. A woman or money. We know that, right? It's got to be a one or two.
I don't think it was, surprisingly. But yeah, they have been going at it, releasing their own diss tracks. Kendrick's most famous diss track, Not Like Us, is actually what he played at the Super Bowl. And it was so it was so big because it was like, oh my God, he's playing a diss track at the Super Bowl. Can you imagine that? Like, the concept of like making a song about somebody you don't like and then playing it at a national like Super Bowl game. Like, it was so crazy.
Well, one time, there's been people that had a difference of opinion. Years ago, if I correct me if I'm wrong, did not Michael Jackson and Prince have a little war between themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay.
That sounds accurate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes to show that artists having disagreements with each other is nothing new. Like, that's something that has happened over time.
Mm-hmm.
This just happens to be of really high caliber. But as messy as the beef goes, you have to admire and acknowledge that Kendrick Lamar is a very outspoken artist. He uses his platform to pretty much highlight the complexities of African American life.
Is that why it was such a... I know everybody watched it, most everybody, but is that why the establishment, if you will, was against it?
Yeah, like... And I'm not sure necessarily who you mean when you say the establishment.
Well, I mean, the powers that be.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the powers that be are always against Black excellence, so that's, you know,
Okay.
that's nothing new. But a lot of other people didn't like the halftime show, but those people are of a certain persuasion.
Oh yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same thing.
But for those of us who can appreciate, you know, Black excellence, it was definitely something to behold, and it's definitely something to go down in history as one of the most successful halftime shows of NFL history, I guess.
Now I heard. So I'm sorry. Forgive me for interrupting you, but I did hear that Samuel L. Jackson was there dressed as Uncle Sam.
How could I forget?
What was that about?
How could I forget? It was storytelling. You know, Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. And he was...
I wish I could have seen that. I might look at it now since it's over with. I would love to. He was dressed in like Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. And he, it was storytelling, you know, like he's like the voice of authority who's trying to, you know, remind Kendrick that, like, no, this isn't how we do it in America.
Okay, that's what I was talking about, the establishment. Yeah.
This is too ghetto. This is too black, and you know, let's clean it up. And so it was very visual, and it was very very captivating, if you will. And so Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam was such a beautiful addition. And let us not forget the appearance of Serena Williams, the tennis player.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Okay.
She was on. I never heard. I didn't see
She was in there as well, and boy, did she look beautiful. Did you know she dated Drake?
I didn't even know. How am I supposed to know who she dated? I don't even know who he is.
Sorry.
Okay, she dated him. Okay.
Well, yeah, her being in there also was just like cherry on the cake. She was beautiful. She was dancing. She was crip walking. It was something. But that, in a nutshell, is the power and excellence of Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Now you know what this means, though, don't you? Now you want to know the negative side of it? The powers that be, the establishment, if you will never let that happen in the Super Bowl again.
Maybe, but I mean, his performance did a lot. I mean, this is off the cuff. This is random, but the flared jeans he wore at the Super Bowl, those went out of stock. They found the designer and they bought them off the rack, and so pretty much the sale for flared jeans has gone up since Kendrick Lamar wore them at the Super Bowl. That's how influential this man is.
Flared jeans. I never. Okay, yeah, I do remember. That's an old style, years and years ago.
Yeah, but it's back.
It's back now. Huh?
It is back. But anyway, you guys, that's my 2 cents on Kendrick Lamar. Hopefully, Mr. Brooks learned something.
Yeah, I'm an expert on rap. I know more about rap than just MC Hammer, okay? I'm good. I'm a rap expert. Ask me something about rap.
We're gonna go.
There will never be another MC Hammer. He's coming back, too, with his big clown pants on.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I think we've gone. We've exhausted this now, don't you think?
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.